Hello, Express Entry Law private Facebook group members, as well as all of you out there on YouTube who are subscribing to the Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel. I want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. It is December the 26th, 2018. I am Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, coming to you live, at least for those who are watching on Facebook, for a second time this evening. Now, you guys are not going to see the first attempt because my audio was all messed up. I had everything which I thought was in place, but then I went back and listened to the audio and it was terrible. And so I had to reconfigure my Mackie mixer here and get everything sorted around so that people could actually have decent audio with what I have to share. But anyways, I want to let you guys know that I am so grateful, so very grateful for 2018 and how awesome a year it was for the Canadian Immigration Institute, how awesome it was for our Facebook group, which is now over 121,000 members. Actually, let me just jump back and see here. What does it say? So 121,117 members. And then if I jump over, let's see if I can find our Canadian Immigration Institute for all of you awesome people who are tuning in there. Let's see if I can find YouTube, which this YouTube is a crazy thing. I've been experimenting with this one. We are sitting at 12,564 members, and apparently that's enough to monetize the channel or something. So now I'm getting money from people watching the videos, which whatever, that's completely secondary. And I still haven't quite figured out how it all works. But the one thing that I love more than anything else, you guys, is serving you guys. It's giving content that actually helps you. Giving away help with express entry or other Canadian immigration information that you would normally have to pay for. And it's hard to describe how much satisfaction I get from actually just helping people with no expectation of anything in return. And yes, my time is limited. And yes, right now it's December 26th and I'm in my office. And what have I been doing? Well, if I turn my screen here a little bit, if I can get out of the way. Oh, I don't even know if you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, there's a bunch of papers and you can probably see it better if I go this way. I don't know, whatever. My whole desk is full of probably about 7 or 8 applications that I'm trying to get out for clients in 2018 here. And what I've discovered is a new way of providing help to my clients. And so you guys know that the guide is out there for you, my complete step-by-step guide. But lately, what's been happening is people will watch my videos on YouTube, and a lot of you guys who've been on there for like a year or more, finally the time arrives where you're ready to submit your express entry, and then you'll realize that, hey, Mark is an immigration lawyer. He does all this free stuff, but he also can actually represent me. And so people will call me and they'll go through my web interface on our firm website and book a consultation. And then from there, from the consultation, they'll say, hey, can you help me? How much do you charge? And guys, I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer, and Canadian immigration lawyers generally charge about $5,000, at least the ones that know what they're doing, about $5,000 to represent someone with their express entry application. But over the last few months, what I've realized is that a lot of you, especially that are here on YouTube or in our Express Entry Law private Facebook group, what you guys are telling me is that you don't need full representation. But what you do need is Mark to help you look over everything to make sure it's correct. And so what I created and what I've now discovered when I'm helping people with their applications is that more and more people want to purchase what I call is my silver plan, where they do the work of putting the information into their applications. They are the ones who collect the documents and then they give it to me to review. So I go through the documents with them. We jump on Skype. I do a full face-to-face and we go through their application, not in my representative portal, but in their own My CIC portal, their own express entry portal. And there's a lot of advantages to it because, hey, every one of you who are hiring a representative are going to have to fill that information in yourself anyways. And what I mean by that is you're going to have to answer the questionnaire that the immigration lawyer or consultant gives you, or the person will have you complete your own, and they'll set up your own MyCIC portal for you, but they won't give you the username or password. They want control. Well, I don't care. It's nothing to me. And so, for people who want to manage their own process, which is most of you, it makes perfect sense. You want to file your own application, but maybe you just need a little help from Mark. Maybe you just need one consult. So you book a consultation for 30 minutes and I answer the difficult questions that you have. I reassure you, I make you feel good about where you're at, and then you safely go forward and work your own application. Or others say, you know what, Mark, I just want that extra added advice and time for you to go through all of my application to make sure that it is correct. And I want you to go through and check my reference letters and check my police certificates and check my educational credentials and everything to make sure that they fit and that I've got the proper knock, that I have got actually the points that I'm trying to claim. And so people now, I'm realizing, and the more I think about it, it makes perfect sense. Why do I need a whole stable full of immigration paralegals in my office to collect your information, retranscribe it into my representative portal, and submit it through my portal? Some people, they just want peace of mind and they just want me to do that. And that's totally fine. But for a lot of you guys, having me review your application is the perfect solution, because together, you and I, we work together, making sure everything is complete, and then you submit it and you carry forward. And basically what that means is I can charge half of what I usually charge. So $5,000 as a Canadian immigration lawyer for full representation. Well, for $2,500 Canadian, I do that full review with you. And sometimes the review, by the time we actually go head to head and we are on that Skype, it can take 2 hours or more to go through every aspect of it. But long before we ever get there, my clients send me the documents, I review them, we make corrections where necessary. And it is awesome because it's like the client is actually my immigration paralegal. And I'll be honest, lately I've had a lot of frustration and headache making sure that the work that comes out of our office is at the highest level. It's easy to hire anyone to just, fill in a form. But with the volatility of express entry, you can't take a chance. The simplest little mistake, like you've seen in my past videos, can result in the entire application getting returned. And so if I was to think, okay, a representative versus you, who cares the most about your application? You do. And I tell you all that everybody's a family and we care about you and everything, and we do. But the reality is no one cares as much about your application as you do yourself. So when you prepare the information, when you enter the information in, if you run into a stumbling spot, then you ask me. You give me a call, Mark, what do I do with this? And then I tell you and you fix it, right? Or when you reach a stage with a document and you're just not sure if it works, then you send it to me. We share everything on Dropbox. We review all the documents together so everything is ready. And then we go through and make sure the whole application is correct. And then you take it from there. So that is what I've discovered. And I'm finding it's way better. And it actually helps me to even further magnify what I can do to help my clients. Because when it ultimately comes to my representation of people, the one-to-one interaction with you on one side and me on the other, where we can talk about each things together, and I'm not sending you an email and then you're not understanding what I'm saying. In the Skype, when we do a screen share, we can talk together like you're right here in my office. And I love it. It is awesome. In fact, this Christmas, I had one of my paralegals left. Well, she's no longer with me, which left me in a real crunch, which made my life a living hell. I'll be honest. This whole month of December was miserable, but it forced me to figure out better ways of doing it. Why do I want to spend hours and hours training paralegals to never quite come to the same level that I'm at, who are the ones who are interacting directly with clients, when I can do it myself? And this is a model no one's doing. Everybody has their stable full of people, that are filling in the application forms. Rarely does the consultant directly or the lawyer actually work on the forms, unless they're a small little shop. But generally speaking, people have their paralegals underneath them who are working directly with you to complete your application forms. And then you have very little interaction with the person who actually has the knowledge. And so I've decided that this is going to be an awesome way of doing it, where I can actually spend time with you. And I love the interaction. That's why I became an immigration lawyer. I love having the opportunity to visit with people and to talk with them and find out what they're doing. And, and as I learn more about them and their lives, it actually helps me to better support them when they're trying to explain some of the tricky parts of their express entry applications. So in 2019, I want you all to start looking for the fact that Mark's going to be promoting this review service. And when you think about it, oh, it's just a review. Well, I can hire this consultant who will do the whole application for me. Give me a break. Seriously? They're going to give you the questionnaire and you're going to fill it out anyways. So why not fill out the information directly into your own MyCIC portal? And then I can come in, we share screens, we look right at what you've put in there and make changes on the fly. In fact, with many of my clients, we actually draft the letters of explanation together. So can you imagine the synergy that happens when both the client and the representative are working together? It is awesome. It is so much more effective. And I'll tell you, I am reinvigorated. I am super excited for 2019 because this is going to revolutionize the way I represent people. Now, with all of that being said, guys, I do want to let you know that for those of you, and I guess I should say also, when I do reviews for people, they get free access to my Express Entry Complete Step-by-Step guide to doing it yourself. So basically what happens is I share this with them and then they use that to help them create their own Express Entry application. And then on top of that, I come in and I clarify everything else. And so when they're ready to actually submit their applications, that application is correct. It is awesome. So I'm super excited about it. And because I know that some of you simply can't even afford the $2,500. I don't even understand the rationale of paying someone who doesn't know what they're doing even $1,000. But for some of you, $2,500 is even out of reach. And I recognize that. And that's why I created this, my Express Entry Do-It-Yourself video guide. And so because it's the end of the year, and just like last year, this is an annual event for us. This is Mark's Boxing Day sale for my Express Entry Complete Step-by-Step Guide to Doing It Yourself. And if you punch in coupon code BOXING 50%, you will pay for lifetime access, $248.50 US for lifetime access to my course. So what does this mean? Well, when the people hire me, they've often been listening and watching the videos for a year and a half. I can't tell you how often they say, oh, Mark, I've been following you for a year. This is crazy. And then finally, they're at the stage where they're ready to proceed. Well, the thing that I love most about this is when I sell a lifetime access, you may not be able to use it right now. Or maybe you submit your profile, you want to lock it in early, but you don't quite have enough points. And so you have to retake the IELTS a couple more times to boost it up to that CLB 9 level. Well, the beauty of this lifetime access is that you can purchase it now for this price, $248.50, and you have it forever, as long as you need it. And so this offers, I find, people the greatest flexibility for the greatest price. Now, with that being said, you can go in, you can purchase a monthly subscription for $97 US, and it automatically renews. You can stay in as long as you want. But guys, I can tell you that this lifetime access is hands down the best value, the best deal. So lots of you probably who are watching this video now, especially on YouTube, have no clue what this is. And if I just pull this one off, share my screen here, and jump back to this guide, if you go to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com, it will take you right here. And all you have to do when you're enrolling in the course, you can click on here, but let me show you what it is for some of you who don't know. So this is a complete walkthrough. If you've ever done video games, I don't know if some of you have played video games, but these adventure where you're trying to choose which path to go to save the princess or to whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. I guess it's just It's just one of those adventures where you have to discover and find your way through. Well, that's what express entry is like for some people. They're trying to discover the clues, to figure out how to answer the questions. And they search the government website, and they search immigration forums, and all of these things online, private Facebook groups like the Express Entry Law group, trying to find the answers. And they spend so much time. Well, when I was a kid and I played those choose your own adventure, these role-playing games, well, not even role-playing, but they're kind of like, I don't even know what the word is to describe them, but you essentially have to solve riddles to advance through the game till you finally accomplish whatever the goal is at the end. Well, the thing I loved most was to go search online and find someone who'd created a walkthrough, a step-by-step process of going through the whole game. And yes, it was cheating. Well, who cares? I was able to finish the game in like an hour and a half versus 3 weeks. And so that was kind of the mindset that I had when I decided to create this course, was essentially to walk you through step by step, helping you to avoid all the pitfalls, advising you on the things that you needed to pay careful, close attention to, and basically help you, like all of the thousands of other people all over the world who are all trying to go through express entry. So I created it because I'm a teacher. I created it like I would one of the classes that I used to teach. There are modules that we work through. The first one is all about learning the basics. Then from there, once you understand what express entry is, how the comprehensive ranking system works, then we go to, are you even eligible? And understand that this, for those of you who are just not sure whether or not now's the right time to purchase the guide because you don't even know if you qualify, well, trust me, by doing it right now, you can figure out, one, if you qualify, if you're eligible, and two, if you don't, what you need to do now, right now, to make changes to increase your comprehensive ranking system score. And every day that score is going up. It was a miracle, the last score, and remember, this is December the 26th, 2018, when I'm recording this little live video. And guys, I want you to understand that for the first time in all year, it dropped to 439. So what did I do today? I had a client at 436 points, and I said, man, I never dreamed it would go under 440. Let's just submit your profile now at 436 and we'll see what happens. And so there's some things that this client can do. One, they're in Canada. They can work a little bit longer. In July, they'll have 3 years, and then their score will jump up to 446. But the reality is right now, that opened the door for me to think, hey, maybe there is still a chance at under 440 because I didn't think it was going to drop. So with that being said, people have the ability now to make whatever changes they need to increase their score. And in this module 2, I teach them what to do and how to do it. Then once you're ready to dive in, you know it's time to submit your profile. I cover every single section within the express entry profile, from the principal applicant to spouses, and everything related to understanding what it is that you're putting into your profile and what it really means. And then the last lesson, 22 within this module, is getting your ITA. What does it look like? What do you expect? What does it mean? And then we jump into the post-ITA world, where module 4 covers all about completing that electronic application for permanent residence, the EAPR. And this whole module is chock full of tips and strategies and advice on how to avoid the most common pitfalls, the most common mistakes people make that cause them to get their application at best returned for being incomplete, or at worst being returned for misrepresentation because the government felt you didn't tell the truth within some portion of your application, which can result in a 5-year bar. So just to give you a little bit of overview, this covers every aspect: principal applicant, spouse, dependent child, and it's all broken down into individual lessons, because if you're a principal applicant, you don't need all the information to sit through for a spouse or for a child. And you can see I've tried to keep them as concise as possible. Each section, there's little timestamps on how long the video is. And so you go through the whole process and get all of the information completed. And then probably the most important section of all, the document checklist section. And this is where we go through all of the unique aspects of every document that you have to include, how people make mistakes, what you need to do to fix it, how to make sure your document is rejection proof. In other words, how to ensure that what you're submitting is not going to be looked at by an officer and dismissed as being somehow incomplete. And so that's what the document checklist is all focused on. And then all the way through to submitting your EAPR. And then sometimes you'll get emails back from the government saying, hey, I need more information. We cover that, how to update your portal once you've submitted your EAPR, and then all the way through to the final glorious ending where you receive your confirmation of permanent residence. All right. So many people will say, well, that's pretty cool, Mark. You've got all these different sections. All of Express Entry is broken down. And guys, it's a video walkthrough. So all of the EAPR is post ITA, so post receiving an invitation to apply. And so this section was all created based on very generous clients who were willing to allow me to use their actual application, at least the foundation for it, to create the video. And so it took me a long time because I had to redact all of the unique client information so that people's confidentiality and privacy was all protected, but yet you could see exactly how to answer all of the questions. All right. And so that is, that alone in my mind is worth every penny of what I'm asking for it. But the reality is I knew that there are so many questions that are just not covered. Like they're not covered anywhere else on the internet. They're not discussed in the Express Entry, the Express Entry information on the Government of Canada website, the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada website, IRCC. And so I created a whole last section that I call my member resource section right here. And this whole section is chock full of all of those questions that I get in this awesome group right here when people are asking questions and other people are answering them, and I jump in and, oh, hey, I'm wishing everybody a Merry Christmas there. But all of this is all designed to collect all of the questions that people most commonly ask, and then I distill them and create special videos to cover those exact topics. Everything, there's general information. You can see these first ones, what to do before you even submit your Express Entry profile. Why are you found to be ineligible? Why, what are the top 5 reasons that your application was refused? That one is super important because ultimately no one wants to be 7 or 8 months down the road and then they get their application returned for being incomplete. This little video here is designed to give you information on how to avoid that. Essential documents that you need, how to claim work experience. Don't be deceived by this one. This one covers even self-employed work experience and what you need to include. What to do when your employer doesn't give you a good reference letter. I should probably rename it because it's a little bit of a misnomer. But, how to increase your language score, which obviously I'd say 30% of the people in our Express Entry Law private Facebook group are wondering how to do that. And then how to increase your chances of getting the ITA. So this is when someone comes to me, they're sitting at, 420 points or something, and they're saying, I'm eligible, but how do I increase my chances of getting an invitation to apply? Well, that is probably one of the most common consultations I have with people. But what I've done is I've taken all of that and given some very general advice, but it's very, very targeted on the top ways that you can focus on making changes to help increase your score. Then a job offer. What is it? Why is it so hard to get? What if I don't have the proof of funds? Can I get funds from a family member? If I do, what do I need to be concerned about? How do I make sure that the government will accept that as actually being proof of funds? And then police clearances. Oh my goodness. As my one past client can attest, the slightest little mistake, even with a police clearance, can result in your entire application getting returned, which is just absolutely just so frustrating for me, but it's a reality. And then some of you may have dependent family members, non-accompanying children. You may have ex-spouses who are not cooperating. Well, this section is all about how those family members can really mess up your application and what to do to fix it. How to complete your EAPR forms if you have a non-accompanying spouse. So I actually go through systematically and show you how to answer the questions. So more on work experience, express entry eligibility, education, language, job offers, and it just goes on and on and on. And I don't want to take, I'm still scrolling. So all of this you can see is all available for you amazing folks who have been so kind to me over the last couple years, so supportive, and also not just me, but one another. And when I see the generosity, the kindness of people within our Express Entry Law private Facebook group, how willing, so willing people are to help one another, to answer questions, and to make sure that the information is correct. That's why the group is called Express Entry Law, because it's designed to be focused on the actual law, not someone's past experience or guessing. All right, so that's kind of a little bit of the overview. I'm going to flip this one back up here, and I'm going to just shift myself over here so everybody can see. If you type in boxing 50%, and I'm going to go back here actually one more time. So that's the coupon code boxing 50%. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to show you here. You go to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com. It will take you here. You click on enroll in course. Then from here, when you click on, you want to choose one-time purchase, lifetime access. That's the deal we're dealing with here today. You click on that enroll button, and then once you're here, you'll see it says add a coupon. And when you click on add a coupon, you type in boxing 50%, just like that. And when you apply it, it immediately reduces the price down to $248.50. So that is how you can access the Express Entry complete step-by-step guide to doing it yourself. And then I also want to go back to our Facebook page and show you something a little bit more detail about what I was talking about earlier. In the announcement section of our Express Entry Law group, for those of you who are watching on Facebook, this is where I actually have my service levels for every service that I offer related to Express Entry. And not just the price for a consult or for the guide or for the bronze plan or the silver or the gold here, but I go into painstaking detail as to exactly what's included. And that's one thing that you're not going to see around. People don't tell you that, oh, I'm not actually going to talk to you once you pay me the money. I might answer an email every 3 or 4 weeks, but I don't pay any attention to you. That is not the case. And like I said at the beginning, my silver plan, the actual application review, is hands down the best value that I offer. Now, when some people, money isn't an issue and they just want me to represent them, and that's totally cool too. And that's why I have the gold plan. And it's concierge, my friend. You get priority when you call, you get priority for consultations, you get priority for everything when you book the gold plan. And those who do the review and they choose the silver plan, well, you're driving your own ship. So the sooner you get your information ready to be reviewed, the sooner we book a consultation, and bam, you have your profile in the pool, or you've got your EAPR submitted and ready to be filed. So that currently is what I have out there and offering for you guys. All right, this is Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer. Super stoked, super excited to be here. 2018, the close of an awesome year. And I am super excited and stoked for 2019 and everything that's awaiting us. I don't know where the comprehensive ranking system score is going to go, whether it's going to stay down at 439 or whether it's going to continue to rise. I just don't know. But one thing I do know is that I love what I'm doing. I love being an immigration lawyer. I love working with people all over the globe. It's crazy. I'm in Lethbridge, Alberta, and I have clients all over the world, literally in every country you could imagine. And I never dreamed it would be possible, but it's here. And I have all of you guys to thank for it. So I want to wish you all a very, very happy new year. All the very best in 2019. May God's choicest blessings rain down upon you and your family and your children and just everyone that is an important part of your life. So thanks so much for tuning in. Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, signing off, saying so long.